well, how do we know that she really believes that?
Okay, so let me ask you a question, if you don't mind, sir. Let's have a conversation here. Are you a Donald Trump supporter? And there's a reason why I'm asking.
Of course.
Okay, so you are.
Okay.
Okay,
I mean,
so let me ask you a question. When Donald Trump back in 2015 ran on two policies, if you recall, he said he was going to hire a special prosecutor to go after Hillary Clinton, and he also ran on, we're going to build a wall and Mexico's going to pay for it. 16% of the wall was built, Mexico didn't pay $1, and he never went after Hillary Clinton. Why would you vote for that guy who ran on two policies that he did not fulfill? If that's your problem with Harris, why would you support Trump?
As far as the special prosecutor situation, I can't really comment on it because I was like 15 at the time.
It doesn't matter whether you were 15.
15, you can't have a cogent thought or have an opinion at 15 years old.
Hold on, Thomas. How old are you right now?
Yeah.
23.
Okay, fair enough. Thomas, back in 2015, Trump said he was going to hire a special prosecutor to convict Hillary Clinton and indict her. He said it at every campaign rally. I'm not making it up. Your thoughts on that?
There's not an inconsistency if Donald Trump or the MAGA Republicans, as you call them, believe that Hillary Clinton is actually guilty.
It's not what you believe. It's that you have to have evidence to prove it in a court of law, which he never had. She testified under oath. The Benghazi, 8 hearings put forth by Republicans. The FBI interviewed her. There was no evidence that she committed any crime, at least not enough evidence to convict her, yet he campaigned off of that, and he was going to build a wall, and Mexico's going to pay for it. Listen, Thomas, I know that not every politician can fulfill all their promises. I'm a pretty pragmatic guy. I understand that. But when you want to nitpick something when it comes to Kamala Harris and you support Donald Trump, I just get confused on that. Does it bother you at all that he's a 34-count felon, or does that not mean anything to you either?
Have you looked at the case law on that? Have you actually read through the case?
Are you an attorney? Do you practice law?
Are you?
No, I'm not an attorney, and I don't practice law.
That's a bad answer, though, by the way, too. Yeah,
so,
it doesn't answer the question.
So what you're saying is
but Brian's not an attorney.
No. So all those what about all those other indictments that he is facing? And let's forget about the criminality of it. What about the behavior? Do you condone that?
What behavior?
Let's start here. Where do I start with the behavior? I'm so glad you asked that question. What about when he talked about John McCain and he said, I don't respect John McCain. I respect people who were not captured. What do you think about a statement like that?
It's not a deal breaker for me.
Okay. Well, I didn't ask you if it was a deal breaker for you. I asked you what you think about the statement.
That's his opinion, and
That's his opinion.
Really
okay, so you can crap on anybody that served this country, and if they were a POW, if they say, I don't respect you because you were captured, your response to that is, well, that's just their opinion. Okay, what about sleeping with a porn star 2 weeks after his wife had Barron? What do you think about that? Is that just his opinion?
Doesn't he deny that?
What's that?
Doesn't he deny that?
Then why did he pay her $130,000? Please answer that question, sir.
Why did he pay $130,000 and not millions? You ever thought about that?
Is that a serious question that you just asked me? Okay, we'll move on. What do you think about? Hold on.
The word comes ahead. It's hypocrisy.
Hold on a second.
You say it fit 17,000 times on the show.
So Thomas, hold on a second. So Thomas, what about January 6th? And to this day, he still doesn't admit that he lost the 2020 election, and he says the election was stolen. What's your excuse to that one?
Even at the most lenient and the easiest way to argue that is, at the very least, if it wasn't stolen with complete, with actual ballots, he can still argue that it was stolen with media manipulation.
You can't argue with that actual facts. There's been no evidence to prove that there was enough election fraud to overturn the outcome of a free and fair election. That's not an argument. He had 61 chances in a courtroom to prove.
It's extremely highly suspicious.
Okay, well, highly suspicious, you actually have to have real evidence to prove. Yeah. He was unable to do that. So again, the same question. He's already said that if he loses in November, he's not going to admit that he lost the election. You don't have a problem with that either, sir?
Hillary Clinton barely ever conceded.
Wrong. She didn't. Wrong. You're wrong. Now, even though the question,
BS, more BS.
Hold on.
No, it's not. Hold on. Even though
the question, Even though the question wasn't about Hillary Clinton, because you see, sir, that's
and that's a lie.
What about is
it?
But maybe you were 15 years old. That's your excuse.
Yeah.
So let me remind you, because you might have been 15 years old. By the way, when I was 15 years old, I can still call out right from wrong when I was 15.
Yeah.
You see, Hillary conceded the following day. It wasn't a sort of concede. She conceded. She called Donald Trump and she said, congratulations. Why would you say she sort of conceded?
Do you have any respect for any election
Why
integrity?
So he doesn't answer questions.
Hold on.
He doesn't answer questions.
Hold on, Chris, I'm going to ask you the question again, Thomas, because you're not answering, sir.
Mhm.
She called
Hillary
up
Clinton could have made,
Thomas,
Hillary
I need you to
Clinton could have
listen.
made-
You're not answering because you're talking. Thomas, she picked up the phone that night. She congratulated Donald Trump and she conceded. How is that sort of conceding? Please answer the question directly, sir.
She was complaining about it for a full year.
She was
afterwards.
never complaining about the
So,
election.
yeah,
She said he was an illegitimate.
arguably-
Excuse me. She never complained about the election. She said it was he was an illegitimate president because of his behavior. So I want to ask you one more question, sir, because we're really not getting anywhere. Okay, but I want to ask you one more question. Forget about the criminality. What do you make of his behavior in going after POWs, going after women on looks, not conceding an election, the election denying? What do you make about defying a subpoena for a year? Forget about even if you think he's guilty or not. What do you make of Donald Trump's behavior? And that has nothing to do with policy, and it has nothing to do with possible criminality. I just want to know what you make of his behavior in going after a woman on looks and turning a coronavirus press conference into a political rally. What do you make of his behavior? I want to ask you, sir. Go ahead.
I actually like his behavior.
Okay, well, have a nice
actually
day.
think-
You're obviously a MAGA deplorable, but I appreciate your call. This man likes the behavior of somebody